What's poppin', everyone? It's your girl SJ, and I'm here with my good friend.
Jeff.
And together we are the Popcorn Patrol podcast. Today we have a great show for you. It's a new one, it's just came out in theaters. Jeff, what is it called?
The Marvels.
The Marvels. So stick around. Welcome back, guys. It's your girl. And today we have a great one. Like I said before, we're doing the Marvels movie. It just came out in theaters on Friday, Jeff. Was it
Thursday
on
night,
Friday?
yeah.
Thursday night. So
Yeah.
I just went. When did you go see this movie?
Friday. We went
Friday
Friday
night.
Friday afternoon.
So I literally just saw this movie this afternoon. Um, and yeah, it was interesting. So now I went by myself, and I haven't seen a movie by myself in years, like since I was a single woman back in my 20s. And but it was a nice experience. I went, I got my little popcorn. It didn't cost like $900 because I had to feed everybody chocolates and candies and popcorn and drinks. Um, and I purchased my ticket online. I picked up my seat online, and I um, just went to the theater. So it was great. It was a great experience for me. Um, didn't know how I was going to feel about it, but yeah. How about you? Are you a fan of
I
going by yourself?
I love going to the movies by myself. I'm very much a person who wants to just focus on the screen and have myself immersed in whatever world the writer and the director wants to submerge me in. And so I quite often enjoy going by myself. This time I went with my young lad. It was going to be a family affair. My daughter wanted to go. She's a big Captain Marvel fan, but she got sick and couldn't make it. So it was just my son and I.
Hmm. Now, are you a middle of the theater? Like, do you have to sit like right in the middle type of the theater? Like, or do you like sit in the back, or do you sit like
So it
what's your
really depends.
situation?
It really depends. I like the AVX. I like the big, loud sound, the big screen. I don't care for the smaller screen and the quiet sound. But when you're taking three, four, five people to the movies, and the AVX is a little bit more expensive, and not everybody likes the 3D. So we most of the time we just go to the regular old little screen.
Can I just
And
tell you, when you said AVX, I was like, what's AVX? In my head, I was like trying to calculate it because we just have one Cineplex and it's an hour away. And whatever is there, I don't even know if it has AVX or not, but it probably doesn't. That's why I don't know. But so when you said that, I was like, what's
I
AVX?
I don't know what AVX stands for. I've always assumed that it stands for audio video to the extreme. That's what I
Probably.
always think. I have no idea what it stands for.
You know
Never had the
what? We're
desire
gonna
to look
go
it
with
up.
that. We're gonna
Sure.
go with that. That's
Yep.
accurate. That's what it is from now on because I don't know what it is either.
Yeah.
So,
So as for
yeah.
your question about the middle or the front or the back, I don't like sitting in the front. I
Okay.
prefer sitting in the back.
Hmm.
But if I'm in a crowded theater, I don't want to sit in the back because I see all these idiots with their cell phones out, and it just in my face. So we
Yeah.
tend to go to the middle if it's going to be a busy theater.
Yeah.
Uh, our showing of the Marvels wasn't very busy. I think there was
Neither was mine.
10 people. We went to the 4:40 showing, so a little
I
early
went
in the
to
day, but
I went to 115, so maybe it was
yeah,
just like a matinee thing or something. It's
yeah.
not that busy, but
Well,
um
that leads me into the little speech about the movie. It was directed by Nia DaCosta. It
mhm.
was written by Nia DaCosta, Megan McDonnell, Alyssa Carrick, uh, Karasik, and
Okay.
then it stars Brie Larson, Teona Paris, and Iman Vellani.
Okay.
The budget was 274 million, but it got a $55 million subsidy from the UK government
Okay.
for whatever. I guess because it's shot there, they get
Right.
subsidy. So it brought the budget down to 219 million.
Okay.
But it had the lowest opening of any Marvel movie. It only made 47 million domestically, 110 worldwide in its opening weekend. Um, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at for a regular movie, but Marvel movies tend to have a higher, much higher opening than that. But
You want to know why?
I know
You know
exactly
why.
why. I know
You know
why.
why. And let's see if we're on point with this. Um, because this is a female, like the heroine in this movie is a female. And
Absolutely.
comic books in general, like I used to collect comic books. I used to go to the stores a lot. The general thing is that comic books were always geared towards males. They were always created towards males. There are some exceptions, but you'd see these big boobed heroine women, and they would be doing like non-conventional things, wearing like high heels to kick butt and stuff. Like that's not realistic. No one's doing
Yep.
that. So I think when this movie now shows up with three female lead characters and they're kicking butt and owning names, I just don't think. Okay, let's put it this way. When I saw the three women on screen, I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. I was like, yes. But in my head, I was like, wow, okay, a bunch of hetero males just like lost interest in this movie, except for
Absolutely.
thinking that maybe they're hot. That's it. Well, not the
Yeah.
little one, not the little girl, but you know what I mean? Like it was just I think that's why it didn't have and there's studies that show that like movies with female leads in it, they get paid less, they don't do as well. There's that whole stigma behind female lead movies. But what I want to say, I did not see the previews. Did you see the previews for this before you went to see
Yes.
the movie?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see it at all because I don't have cable. I don't watch TV. So,
Right. Yep.
um, when I went in blind. And, even me, myself, when I saw the three female characters, I was like, this movie, they're going to try and make it like way too woke. I don't know how I feel about this. But as the movie went on, I actually really enjoyed it.
This movie was fantastic.
It was
I
terrific.
was going in thinking, yeah, this movie is it's gonna be it's gonna be what the box office is saying it is. It's gonna be
Yeah.
trash and nobody's gonna want to see it. But this movie is an
You know
excellent
what?
movie and people are missing out on an
I
excellent
think
movie.
so.
Yes.
I agree with you 100% because I am a very picky movie watcher and I enjoyed this movie. Um, you know, it's funny. I think the box office, whoever like, judges these movies, poo poo on them. Poo poo. Because I think they're wrong. I think this movie was terrific and it had everything, that you're looking for when you go to see a movie. Um, let's go into our popcorn
Yep.
paradise of
Paradise.
this
Yep.
movie, right? Like, um, let's talk about the female cast first. They were all great in their own ways,
Yep.
you know,
And
and
this
they were
isn't the first
all
time we've seen any of them. We've seen
no,
all
no,
three
they've
of
been
these
in.
actresses in the MCU before. We've
Mhm.
seen Iman Vellani in her show, Ms.
Yep,
Marvel. We've
yep,
seen Teyonah Paris in WandaVision. And
right.
we've seen Brie Larson in a few other projects. We've seen her in Captain Marvel 1. We've seen her
Captain Marvel,
in
yep.
the Avengers Endgame.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and so yeah, we've seen these, and I personally thought all three of these actresses nailed their parts in all their other projects too.
Yeah.
Like
I
like
haven't seen the
WandaVision,
Marvel one. I haven't seen WandaVision or the other one, the
Ms. Marvel.
series, Miss Marvel. Um,
You know what's interesting? We went and seen this movie together.
did
My
we?
wife and your husband and I, we all went, and we all went and seen Captain Marvel together at the theater back in 2019 when it came out,
Oh
2018,
shoot.
somewhere in there. Yeah. Yeah.
I totally
You
forgot
didn't
about
you didn't
that.
like the first one. And I don't think your husband liked it either. And a lot of people didn't like the first one. It made a lot of money at the theater, like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know, $1.4 billion or something. And maybe
right.
one day we'll review it. but
Yes,
it wasn't
absolutely.
a I quite enjoyed the first one. So for me, like I expected I was gonna like this one and nobody else would like it. But when I
Mhm.
watched it, I'm like, no, this is a good Marvel movie. This is like right in the middle of the pack of them, maybe just above the middle. It's the 33rd movie, so I'm thinking this slots in between 12 and 14, you know,
Right.
but yeah, Popcorn Paradise. The cast was great to see Nick
Yeah, Brie
Fury
Larson
and
was ter
Brie Larson.
yeah,
Yeah,
Brie Larson looked terrific in this movie. I mean, all of them did, and the costumes were beautiful. Sorry,
yeah,
Iman Vellani, she had like a shalwar kameez style outfit, which
yep,
is very Indian
yep.
suit, and then um,
And her
Brie
family is
Larson.
super adorable.
They
Her
were
family is
hilarious.
hilarious. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, we'll talk about that because that's in my popcorn paradise too. But
Yeah.
um, no, it was a great cast all in all. Even the villain was great.
Dar-Benn. So
Yeah,
that
Dar-Benn.
actress is actually engaged to Tom Hiddleston, who plays Loki in the MCU.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
interesting. Wow, no, she did a great job, and
Absolutely.
I understood her as a villain. Like sometimes they have these villains, and you're like, what?
You have these villains and they're just like, oh yeah, that person's evil. Like that
Yeah,
person's just evil. There's not very many of them that you're like, no, I actually can understand why Captain Marvel goes in, destroys the Supreme Intelligence,
right.
and then that society falls into
Destroys
chaos,
everything.
into a civil war. They run out of resources, like their sun goes out, which I don't understand how that happens during a civil war, but hey, well, it's comic book, stretch your imagination.
Yeah.
It but they run out of resources, they run out of food, and Captain Marvel to the people on Earth is a hero. She helped defeat Thanos and save everybody and bring everybody back. But on Hala,
Hala.
she's the Annihilator. Like
Yeah.
they think like it's her that caused all this. And so you can really understand Dar-Benn's point of view, where it's like Captain Marvel come in, destroy the Supreme Intelligence, cause civil war, our society collapsed, and now we have no resources. We got to figure out what we're gonna do. And she's out. She's not really out for revenge, kind of, but not really. Like she fights Captain Marvel, but she's like, no, I'm
She's
taking
looking for
resources from these
resources.
other places,
Right.
which
She's
happen to
looking
be places that Captain Marvel called home at some point.
right.
So it's kind of
Right.
a revenge thing, but not, I mean, not really,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
kind of.
Well, and let's talk about the family. Like I love Iman Vellani's family. Uh
Yep.
Miss Marvel's family. They were so cute. And I love the mom, like how she would make little digs at the brother sometimes about how he should get
Yes.
married and like all this
Yes.
stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, okay. Um, no, they were super cute and they were supportive and um yeah, and you see them throughout the movie, which was nice. You don't sometimes they show a family of someone once and then you don't ever hear
Yep.
about them again during the movie, but they were consistent. Like they were actually in the movie, which was
Yep.
kind of cool to see.
They took the family up to the Saber Station. They got to kind of tour around the space station there and check
Yeah.
things out. And I don't know like why they really brought them up. Was it a comfort thing because Miss Marvel was going on
I think
a
so.
mission? Yeah. And
I
it was
think
like
so. I
we
think it
could
was
leave them
like a
down on
safety
Earth, but
thing.
they're going to go crazy. But let's bring them
Right.
up to the Saber space station. And I
Okay,
guess
and
their
I
house was
also
just destroyed too. So
yeah, they didn't have
yeah,
anywhere, so they needed somewhere, right?
yeah,
I also want to talk about, for me, the scene stealer, and something I did not expect are the cats. The cats in this movie are ridiculous. They're so cute, but they're ridiculous in this movie. I
yeah.
don't want to say too much because I don't want to give it away to people who haven't seen this movie yet because it just came out.
Mhm.
Um, but wow, they very interesting take on cats.
You had mentioned earlier that you didn't see any previews
No.
going into this. You went in cold.
Mm-mm.
I I pretty much begged you to go see this movie. Look, it's a Marvel movie. I'm a
You
big fan
did.
of
You
Marvel
did.
movies. Can you go see this one so we can do this one like right after the release? And
Yeah.
so when I seen that in the trailer, I see all these cats running down the stairs, not knowing the context. I'm like, okay, what kind of stupid bull crap are they gonna do here? Like, this is dumb. Like, don't get me wrong, everyone likes a cute cat here and there, but like, this is 100 kittens running around. What? And I knew like Goose's story. I know that Goose is a flurkin,
Yeah.
and that they're not actually cats, but
No,
they
no,
look
no.
like cats.
Right.
But I had no idea that the context to that. And
Right.
it's a comic book thing. You stretch your imagination, you'll, allow those kind of things to happen, but it's awesome. It's super cute.
Yeah.
Them just running around with
It's
these
great.
cats. And
Yeah,
yeah,
no, you
it's
guys have to see it. Like, I don't want to tell you because it kind of is a big part of the movie. So, anyways,
yeah,
I've
kind of.
said
Yep.
I've said too much.
Yeah.
Um, there were some scenes in there that were really beautiful too. I want to talk about like the way that the art direction in this movie. I thought the music, the score was done really well. Everything was very beautiful. It's like a movie that you really do need to see on the big screen because there's these very big, large, like city, like other world cityscapes and
Yep.
outer space types spaces with lots of colors and um,
Yep.
it's just visually very beautiful to watch, I thought. And yeah, I think it definitely deserves to be seen on a screen for sure.
So my part of my popcorn paradise is a small thing I thought was really neat was when they were on the ship and they had a little bit of time to kill and they decided they were going to try and kind of figure out how their powers worked with the entanglement. So
Hmm.
basically when they any of the three of them at any time if they used their power at the same time as one of the other ones or all three of them use them at the same time, they switch places.
Right.
So I thought it was really cool that they were doing things that women would do, like that
Yeah,
girls
yeah,
would
yeah.
do. Like they're
Yeah.
trying to double dutch skip and change
Yeah.
spots while they're doing that, or they're walking around with the book stacked on their head like models
Yeah,
and
yeah,
like
yeah.
switching spots and like not trying to like get the books to fall off. And I just thought that was kind of really neat. I know that there's going to be a lot of testosterone heavy people out there that are going to think that that's really stupid,
Yeah,
but
because they don't
I thought it
understand
was
it.
really cool. I thought
Yeah.
that was just really neat. That's just a little tiny part of the movie that
And
you know what it is? It's one of those moments that it just feels like that that could be a real moment. That's
yeah.
not that's not this manufactured crap. It's like that is something that they would possibly be doing while trying to like they're on a spaceship. How are they going to really try and figure out their powers? Well, they can
Right.
do those kind of things, right? So
Right.
I thought the realism there in a comic book movie was really neat.
Do you know what another thing that I like for Popcorn Paradise is the camera angles and camera movement. So there's a scene with Brie Larson and she is going outside of her ship to investigate
Yeah,
what's going on in one of the beginning scenes and they kind of like move the camera upside down along with Brie Larson, and she slowly kind of like it's a really weird angle, but it was so neat.
it
Like
works. It
it
worked and it
works.
was awesome.
And even when you're like things are happening, the way that the camera is moving makes you feel like you're kind of there was one moment where I was like, "Oh, wait a minute." Like I kind of like there's a balance thing where I was like, "Whoa." So the way they move it like very slowly and in a certain way kind of makes you feel like it draws you into this movie for sure.
So I'm a big Marvel fan. That's no secret. Um,
Yeah.
and I know that a big complaint from the last, not just the last 5 or 6 Marvel movies, but like the last group of comic book movies, like The Flash and Thor: Love and Thunder and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. There's a lot of complaints about the VFX being not up to par and that Marvel's cheaping out and like DC's cheaping out on these special effects. This movie, they didn't cheap out on the special effects. This movie was
No.
stunning. The special effects were incredible.
Yep.
There's nothing groundbreaking. Like they're not. It's not any. It's not like the Matrix bullet time when that first come out. There's nothing groundbreaking, but the VFX are amazing in this movie. They're great, very
Yeah.
pretty and colorful. This movie's
Yeah.
like in space and there's lots of color, like you had mentioned with the scenescapes. There's lots of color when they're using their powers.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
the VFX are great.
Yeah. Okay, listen. Let's get into Popcorn
What
Prison, Jeff.
what beef do you got with this movie? What's your
The
beef?
only beef that I have was the scene where they were on the planet with her partner, her husband, the prince.
Yeah, okay.
Um and it was just a little cheesy for me, but they did call it out, which helps
Yep,
kind of take away from that.
yep.
I don't want to give it away for anybody, but um, the planet itself is beautiful. The costumes are amazing. The concept
Vibrant.
is,
That
yeah,
planet is
so
vibrant.
beautiful and
Yep.
vibrant. So much color.
Atlanta,
Um,
Atlanta, I think it's called.
yeah,
Uh,
which I thought
uh,
they were saying
Yeah.
Atlanta.
I
I
thought,
thought they
yeah.
were saying
I
Atlanta,
think
and I
it's a
was
play
like,
on that. I think it's kind of so like Atlanta or Atlantis is supposed to be
well,
underwater,
maybe
and this planet is
part
99.7% or
right.
97% water. So I think
Yeah,
it is a play on Atlantis or Atlanta, but yeah, it's vibrant. I'm not saying that it's part of my popcorn paradise,
yeah.
but it's very comic booky, very
It
Guardians of the
was.
Galaxy style. I kind of liked it. At first, it was
I did
irritating,
too.
but
I
after a few minutes, okay, you know what? If I'm gonna do a popcorn prison from that part, then what I will say is, I thought it was kind of easy that the prince was bilingual,
He's the
right?
only one.
So all of a
He's the
sudden they
only one.
stop talking the way that they were talking, where everyone could understand them, and they start talking normally, and they're like, what? I thought you had to follow this rule. And she looks at them and is like, oh, he's bilingual. And then they start talking normally, and I'm just like, oh, that okay. If I have something for my popcorn prison, I guess how easy that resolution was.
Right.
It felt like, okay, we're doing this scene, and it's like, you know what, we're kind of tired of doing it this one way. Let's just say he's bilingual and we'll just do it normal.
Yeah, he's the only one that's bilingual. I
Yeah,
find
the
that
only
like
one.
really
Yeah.
unrealistic. So I think that was like the main area where I had most of the popcorn prison stuff. But for the most part, like I really liked this movie. Like it was
Yeah.
entertaining and I didn't know what to expect, like I said before, but I was pleasantly surprised. I guess we'll go into our popcorn eating. You want to go into our popcorn eating?
I'm not quite there yet. I still
You're
have
not
one
there.
more.
What are you?
I have one, and I'm saving it. I was saving it to the end,
Okay.
because I have one popcorn paradise left, and it's
Okay.
the end credit scene. Did you
Yes,
stay for the
okay.
end credit
I
scene?
did.
Okay.
I said I had to
Uh,
because I know there is one.
Mind blowing. I love
Yeah.
it. I think it's great. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to ruin it for
I
people.
didn't expect it. I didn't expect it where it was going.
I
I
didn't
didn't know
either.
where it was going.
Now, without spoiling too much, I mean, this is a spoiler review. We could just come out and say it, but
No.
there's going to be people that look. I seen the box office numbers. I know that the 15 people that are going to watch this video, that maybe one of them went, maybe. Anyways, um, I'm not surprised that this end credit scene was in this movie, because I watched the Miss Marvel series, and at
Okay.
the end of the Miss Marvel series, there was an end credit scene that was similar to this one. It had the same theme of that thing, um, and yeah, so I'm not surprised that it was in this movie, because
Right.
it was kind of attached to Ms. Marvel,
Yeah.
which is great.
So guys,
But
there
yeah,
is an end credit at the end of like there's an you know that end
there's
credit.
there's a mid credit scene.
Yeah, there's a mid-credit scene.
Yep. And then
Um,
at the very end, there's another one, but it's not video, it's just audio.
right.
Um, yeah, you're not missing much if you leave.
Right.
I
Which
think it's some cats meowing or something.
oh,
So at the very end, yeah.
yeah, definitely stay a couple of minutes to see that end credit because it's very interesting. And
Par for the course with Marvel.
yeah. So I mean, I didn't like the first one and we'll probably review that more in detail at some point, but the second one I really enjoyed.
It will be interesting when you go back and watch the first one, because this has happened to me a couple times.
Hmm.
When you go back and watch the first one to see if your opinion changed of it now that you have new character development for the character that's in there in that
Right.
movie. So this happened to me with I watched WandaVision. So I watched Infinity War, Endgame, WandaVision, and when I went back and watched Age of Ultron, it made me like
The
the
other ones.
Wanda Maximoff character more.
Okay.
And like at first it was like, oh, who's this? Like what? It was kind of it was like, ah, just shoehorn this person in, you know. But once I watched those other projects and then went back and watched that one, that part of the movie that I didn't care for before was better.
Right.
So we'll see if this is better for you, like if Captain Marvel one is better for you when we rate that one.
Yeah, no, for sure. I'm
But
I'm looking forward.
let's get on with this. Let's get the
All
popcorn
right.
rating out.
Okay. Do you want to go first? Because I
Yeah, I'll
think I
go
know what you're
first.
gonna give it.
I'll go first. I'm giving this a large popcorn. I
Oh.
would like to give it an extra large, but I don't think it's quite. It's not. It's not a Marvel masterpiece. If I'm giving, if I were to give Endgame or Infinity War an extra large popcorn, then I can't give this one an extra large popcorn. For me, this one's a large one, but it's loaded. It's large with, you know, butter and salt, and it's like overflowing the bag. You know, it's you're angry because you're dropping it on the floor. It's so full. Yeah, it's a large.
Okay. So I'm actually gonna give it an extra large
That's fantastic.
because this is my first extra large I'm giving out, okay? And I'll tell you why. Because I find this movie highly entertaining. I would watch it again. You can watch it with your kids. You can watch it with your spouse or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your partner, whoever, whatever. Um, and it's so enjoyable and it's entertaining and everything is beautiful and it's funny and it's creative and you know I I don't know what to say. I mean, if I'm a moviegoer, that's what I want to see. I don't want to see like boring stuff like
It's a
and it wasn't
female-led
boring.
cast. So a female-led cast. There's a brown girl in it and her family,
Yeah.
and a black girl in there, and it doesn't feel like it's some woke shoving anything down your
No, not
throat.
at all.
It's a
Not at
nice,
all.
comfortable watch. Like you're watching it and it's like this fits, this makes sense, it fits, it's great.
Yeah. No, it's terrific, and it's terrific to see that representation on screen. But like I said, like you said, it's not about them being what they are. It's about being who they are
Yep.
as the Marvels. And
And
no,
watching Miss Marvel fangirling out pretty much every interaction that she has,
yeah, yeah,
it
it's pretty
fits because
funny.
she's supposed to be this 15 or 16-year-old kid, and she's just like is just it's her hero. Captain Marvel
Yeah.
is her hero. She's named herself after Captain Marvel, and it just it that's exactly what would happen with that person, right? So
Yeah, it's pretty cute. Like, it's a 15-year-old, like you said, and that's how it is. But that is why I'm giving it an extra large because I would watch this again. Definitely. I have no problems watching this movie again. It was very entertaining. So
I'm
I
so
highly
happy. I'm happy that you gave it an extra large.
Oh, are
I
you?
like I said, I'd love to give it an extra large, but for me, I can't put it in that upper echelon quite yet.
Listen, I think if a movie is good to me and I there has to be something about it that I
Mhm,
feel a certain way about it when I leave the theater. And I
yep,
definitely think this is one of those movies. I want to escape into a world of I love fantasy movies. I love sci-fi
absolutely.
movies. I love I love all movies, but I do especially love fantasy and sci-fi type movies. So for me, this kind of combined both of those worlds together. And I
Mhm.
love comic books. So combining everything together like that, that's a win-win for me. I'm in. Totally invested. Take all my money. Take it.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah. So
All
guys,
right, well, that's all we got for you this week.
yeah, and if you're looking for a good movie, this is one to check out for sure. It's called The Marvels, and it stars Brie Larson and Iman Vellani and that
Tana
last one,
Paris. Teyona Paris.
Teyona Paris. Please
It's
check
in
it out.
theaters. Go see it. It's
Yeah,
in
it's
theaters.
worth
Go
it.
see it in
It's worth it,
theaters.
guys.
You will not
Yeah.
regret it. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic movie.
Listen, if I can drive an hour from my house in in the countryside to go find a theater to watch this movie, you guys can go down the road to your local theater and watch this movie. It was good.
Yep,
Well worth it. Um,
absolutely.
with that, Jeff, please tell these lovely people where they can find our podcast and how they can support us.
Well, our podcast is hosted on YouTube and Spotify. So go write a review, check us out. We're on Apple Podcasts as well. We're on Facebook, Twitter, X, formerly known as Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, pretty much all the social media. So go check us out. Tell us what you like. Tell us what you don't like. If you liked it, share it with a friend. And if you didn't like it, well, maybe you'll like the next one.
That's right. And so you know what time it is.
Oh, here we go.
Bam.
Oh. Here we go.
I can't. Okay, guys. If I didn't do it though, you guys would miss it. So I have to do it.
Oh yeah.
All right. So it's the mom joke of the daytime.
Oh, I'm excited.
I got a Marvel joke for you.
Oh,
today,
sweet, even better.
guys. Okay. How many Marvel characters does it take to change a light bulb? Just one, but every couple of months, another one changes the same light bulb. Get it?
All right. Yep. Okay. Medium popcorn on that one. That's a medium
Thanks.
popcorn. Yeah.
See, it was a little smarter this time. I thought you would appreciate that.
Medium popcorn on a joke.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed the podcast this week, and please stay tuned for the following weeks ahead of us. We've got we're doing seasonal movies. We're getting on Christmas time. We gotta do it up a little bit, Jeff. We love our Christmas movies. I love my Christmas movies. I know you do. So we've got some good movies to review this month and next month. So please stay tuned, and we hope you guys have a great week and get to the theater.
And hey, you know what? Challenge. I challenge every viewer in the comments, write your best mom joke. Write your best mom joke in the comments.
Well,
wait
a minute.
See if you can top SJ. Write your best mom joke in the comments, and it's a challenge. And
wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't want to be challenged. I don't want to be challenged. Hold on. You guys, don't make them too good. If you're going to do it, don't make it too good, because I want mine to be as bad as possible, I guess. All right. All right, guys. Have a great week. Popcorn Patrol out. Peace.